Now, welcome to the trading game. We post these in the recording section. If there's, I'm going to be doing this all week. If you can't get in here, it'll be in the recording session. And I generally don't edit the videos. A lot of people will do that, and it makes it easier for the viewer. But I'm more interested in trying to make sure that I'm transparent. And when you start editing stuff, people start thinking you're cutting your losses out and only showing your winners. So I put the video out there. It's going to be a couple hours long. I'll try to put some timestamps in for the people that just want to go find the trades. But I'm going to leave the videos as they are because it's important to me that I'm not labeled as one of those people that come out here and just try to cherry pick stuff. And, authenticity is really important to me. So you're going to see me win. You're going to see me lose. But I'm going to show you how to lose well, which is one of my credos, I guess. I came up with these two ideas after I blew a 500K account. Actually, I blew 10 50K accounts. Actually, I blew all 20. Let's be honest. I had 10 PAs and 10 evals that I was trading together, and I had brought 10 of the evals across the PA, and I had staggered them, so I had 10 evals that were about halfway done. And it took me about a week to blow that up, and I can go into some detail on that for people who either haven't been there yet or have been there and trying to figure out how to get around it. I got some really good tips. I mean, I learned a lot of stuff. I did a lot of work. I did a lot of journaling. I didn't trade for a couple weeks. Well, I traded my cash account, but I was real small size and just, trying to stay in the market, but at the same time, figure out how to let that never happen again. So that's where this came from. See trade, take trade. I went on tilt because I was passing up my A-plus trades because I was talking myself out of them because I was scared. I had fear. And then 10 minutes later, after the trade went my way and I was mad, then I let greed take over and I wanted to be right. So I started taking subpar trades and things started going really bad. So now I use a really mechanical approach. I've got some steps up here. If these aren't met, I just don't take the trade. And I got one or two I need to add to that. But this is the classic silver bullet model that I trade. You can find a really good discussion from ICT on it in episode 9 of the 2022 mentorship starting at 9:55. So if you want to go in and kind of see where I got this from and hear it from ICT himself, I'd recommend that you do, because once I press the buy button, it's not me trading anymore. It's ICT's concepts that I'm trusting, and it takes a lot of the pressure off me because I just have this right here. If I lose, it's just the trade would have lost. ICT would have lost that trade. That's the way I look at it. It's more important to me to understand how to lose better, and creating this system has helped me be able to take losses with no emotion. Because like I said, it's not me. I'll set it and it's done, and I'll talk about it and go through it. I don't move my stop. I do everything I'm supposed to. It's more important to me to be precise and disciplined and patient than it is to win trades, because I think the other ones will take care of itself over time. That's kind of my approach, because what hurt me before was losing and not being able to handle losing, so I had to fix that, and so that's where these come from. But yeah, so I've been trading 14 months, ICT about 8 maybe. I started learning it maybe in January. I'm going to have to turn somebody down here in a second. If you get some background noise or something and I mute you and you fix it, just type something in the chat and I'll open you back up. And this is also open. I mean, if people want to talk, you want to ask questions, you don't have to type them. You just get on your mic. I try to make this as interactive as possible and as educational as possible. And sometimes talking is just easier if you have a question and need clarification on something that I'm doing. But yeah, if you got background noise and I mute you, just let me know. Yes. Who is this?
Alex.
Alex. Hey, what's up, Alex?
Would you mind going doing a top-down analysis of what you're looking at? I see the indicators and all, but
Sure.
I think it would be helpful to kind of understand
Yeah.
how you got to where you are right now.
As far as the charts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, top down is just like ICT says. This is the month. This is the week. Before you start trading, you're trying to figure out what your draws on liquidity are. And I need to find out why those are carried over. I need to unsync those real quick. So I'll go to, yeah, give me just a second. I have these charts synced up, and sometimes it does weird stuff. So I got rid of that. We're good there. And like I said, I didn't have any time to prep. I just got home from work, and here I am. So blue boxes.
Are you in the U.S.?
Yes, I'm in Nebraska.
So you work overnight?
Yeah, I work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. like 3 and 4 days a week. So I have a really challenging schedule for trying to trade. I'm off all this week, so I'm going to be hitting this every single day, every single session. I'm trying to knock out some challenges.
Nice.
And y'all are welcome to join me for the journey. Okay, so I think I got that fixed. What's that?
I'm in
Minnesota?
Minnesota, yeah. I lived in Florida, Orlando for about 7 years. I'm here for about a year just to help with my in-laws farm. But I'm doing this 24/7. So if you hop on and do a back test session, I'll be with you, man.
I always I put announcements in if I'm going to do something. I
Cool.
jump in here a lot. Are you a Viking? You're probably not a Vikings fan if you're just visiting, right?
No, I'm from Brazil originally. So
Brazil? Football.
Brazil.
Football then, right?
Yeah, soccer. Yeah, really.
Right on.
Used to play soccer there too. So.
Hi. I was trying to get rid of these. Is that you, Tia? That sounds like, I don't know. So here this week, I'm going to change this format to a stage setup on Discord. We ran out of seats a couple times. We boosted it up. We've got 300 seats now. But when everybody comes into this voice chat, they're wide open. So with the stage, you get 10,000 seats, and you can bring everybody in as a listener, and we don't have to go through all the trying to mute people. So that's going to get better here soon. Good morning, Pep Coco. Saints fan? Oh man, yeah. You guys broke my heart when Brett Favre, we beat you. We had you beat. Brett Favre threw that pick. We were going to the Super Bowl. Anyway, yeah, no football. The ladies don't care about that. Well, I shouldn't say that. Some do. All right. Hopefully those weren't important, but I need to get these. Okay, so month, week, start with that. You're looking for draws on liquidity. And trading the silver bullet and smaller time frame trades, it's not as important that you get this right, but it's definitely good to know, because when you get down to an area where you have a monthly or a weekly draw on liquidity, the magnet's a lot stronger. And if you have that in the back of your head and you're getting ready to take a trade, that might be the time you want to go a little heavier. Maybe, add a couple points to the stop, give it a little room, because we know where it's going. And if you watch me do this, I've been really doing well at calling the levels for the draws on liquidity. And it starts from right here. So sometimes it's obvious, if you're a little bit above, a previous month low, it's not going all the way up here before it comes down here. And what I like to say is, I know where it's going. I just always can't plot the exact path. But as you watch price move, and that's why I stick with just ES, because I watched it move enough, they all have their own character. I mean, NQ has its own character. It's a lot more rangy. And oil is crazy. It has its own character. Well, ES has its own character. And that's one of the features, of ES. The other ones are a little more volatile, more subject to, manipulation, news, oil prices, things like that go up and down all the time. If you're trading pairs, then you've got two different basically governments that are involved in your currency, movements opposing each other, lots of room for volatility. ES is very stable, and that's why I like it. To me, it's more predictable. So looking at the month, I don't see it, you can't really tell. There's nothing close to it. So it could keep coming down slowly. It's at 46. It'd have to come down 80 points, basically. So I don't see that happening on a non-news event, so I really can't use the month right now. So we move over to the week. Week is drawing down. It's into a weekly fair value gap that hasn't been tapped yet, but it has closed this one. So this is bearish for sure, forming another fair value gap here. In the process of coming down here, possibly to the consequent encroachment. I wouldn't make a judgment on this until it gets closer to the consequent encroachment, and that's still a long way away. So not a lot of information on the week. Definitely bearish structure-wise, so we want to keep that in mind. And then I go to these time frames, and I do the same thing. So we got some really good PDAs underneath us. Structure break on the daily. So this high created this low. This was a protected low. That low has been violated. So we are very bearish on the daily, but also tapping into a fair value gap on the daily. So we expect maybe some retracement in here eventually. 4 hour. These are new week opening gaps, by the way. And this indicator, this is 2 indicators that I use. This is great. They come with so much stuff that it's all I need. But most of you know that ICT Kraken is releasing his custom silver bullet indicator in this group only next Sunday. We're going to have a live stream party. He's put a lot into that, and been developing it. Beta testing.
Is that Monday or Saturday?
I think Saturday.
Because it says September 30th. It's a Saturday at 1 p.m. Oh, Eastern time.
Yeah, it's going to be Saturday then. So he's going to go run through it all and show you the settings, show you the setups. He's been collecting your trading view names, and that's going to be cool. And I might as well. I'll give you a tease right now. We got another one coming out right after that, but we don't want to get everybody confused, and I want him to be able to present his, get good opportunities to explain it, have people working with it. And then we got someone else here that has another fire indicator that's pretty sweet. I'll just show you real quick. That's it. He's agreed to release his to the group as well for free. And it's a custom coded indicator. It's got some, some stuff in it that's, it's really good. And he's one of our trades channels guys. So if you're watching him, you're seeing him make a bunch of money. So yeah, that's going to be good. So, all right. So, consequent encroachment on the daily, went by that. Consequent encroachment on the 4 hour, expect some reversal there. On the hourly, I need to see what that is. I drew that. I don't remember if I had like a long old term breaker or fair value gap, or what is that? It's probably something from a different time frame. Oh, you know what? That goes back to like June. That is from another time frame, so I need to find out what that is real quick. It looks like it's probably just a fair value gap. You know what? If I don't know, I'm going to scratch it. I'm not going to guess. I'll go find it in a minute. What's back there? I'll find it on the other time frame when I back up. So the hourly is what I use mostly for my trend direction, for trading pullbacks, taking OTE entries, things like that. Like this right here would have been a beautiful OTE entry.
So do you go from the daily to the hourly, or you just
from the daily? No, daily. Yeah, daily 4 hour hourly, but the hourly is what I base my trend direction on. And sometimes it's real obvious, right? This is real obvious. We're in a serious downtrend, and I love the fib. So look at that, perfect. Pulled up above EQ right here. Tap consequent encroachment. I'd have been in that all day long. That would have been a no-brainer. I'm sitting there waiting on it, into a POI, equilibrium, and then it dumped for, that's just gaudy. But yeah, so I'm watching the hour for these pullbacks, and I'm fibbing it for equilibrium to OTE. And from there, I start looking for my move back down. As long as we're in a downtrend, and there's been no break of structure to the upside, I'm going to take that every time I get it. until I fail. I'll take that loss because I'm going to get win after win after win after win, and eventually, it's going to change direction, and I might get tricked. But on the lower time frames, I'm also looking for some other things. So, um, there's other factors in play, other confluences that I'm looking for. So it looks really good on the daily for today, or the hourly. I mean, trend direction. It's no news Monday. So then out to 30-minute.
The dollar's breaking out there.
Is it? Well, that's good. That'll continue to drive this down then. Well, I don't know why it would be though. Our economy is crap. So just manipulation. That's all it is. You'll hear me talk a lot
Well,
about manipulation
you're
and
comparing poop to poop. That's why.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, our poop's not as sticky as their poop, pretty much. Um, but
Our poop is better for the nutrients.
right. That's one way to say it. A lot of what I talk about is the
That's funny.
the algorithmic
Jeez.
approach to the market. You need to figure out if you think this is random or not. If you're not sure, if you don't know, it's going to change your trading once you figure out that it's not. Because if it's random, you can't do things like I'm going to do because it wouldn't make any sense, right? Random means random. But if it's not random and it's actually doing the things that ICT says it is, and I'm kind of in a minor, I don't know what to call it, beef, but somebody posted a video claiming ICT was a fraud and all this, and I posted a response and a challenge to Iman Trading, and I separate the man from his contributions. That's the best way I can say it. Some of the things he says, I have no clue. I don't know if that stuff's true. I don't. What I've done is I've
But
taken
what I
his.
don't understand is how is he robbing anybody when everything is free? Like, what is he robbing you of?
Well, in the beginning, it wasn't free. He had a course and he was doing a lot of demo trading, but he admitted he called himself the demo baller. I mean, you know, um, but yeah, it's all free for us now, and that's why what I do will always be free. I'm never going to charge anybody for ICT stuff. If you're going to use it and you're going to make it work for you, you're going to make enough money. You don't need to get other people's money. That's my feeling on it. But like I said, I'm not trying to start any issues or anything. I'm new. I'm just trying to be like a blue collar trader and come in here. But it kind of ticked me off because he's turning people off of the concepts. And I mean, I've got people in here like single mothers that are getting funded, and people that um, without this they would not be doing as well. Okay, so they see the difference. We see the
I,
difference.
I'm one of them. I'm on permanent disability, so I'm
Exactly.
trying to find another career where I don't get out of my house.
I hear you. Yeah. I mean, that's ideal. Trading is freedom. Financial freedom, every other kind of freedom. But when I saw that video, it just made me. I wouldn't have cared if I didn't see as much. If I didn't see people in the comments talking about, well, I've been studying it 6 months. Should I quit? Hell no, don't quit. So I didn't even think about it. No script, no nothing. I just got on here and said, hey, YouTube, this is going to be a little different. And I went off, and I pointed out that I don't care if the dude says he's the Easter Bunny. If I can use this stuff to beat this market, I'm kicking its ass. And I don't care what that dude did or said or whatever. It's the concepts that I'm sold on. The concepts work. This is the path for me. I've tried
I
retail
think it's just part of
trading.
that. I think it's part of that identity thing. It's like, well, I think that there's 12% of what he says that's a lie. Therefore, we need to discredit him altogether because if it's not 100%, then it's probably all bullshit. It's like, really?
Well,
That's ridiculous.
I think there was more to it as far as he's taken a turn here lately trying to expose people, and he's gotten away from lifting people up to tearing people down. And there's some people out there that need to be tore down. I agree with some of his videos. I know some of those guys are frauds. But
Listen, those videos when he's tearing people down, those are like my favorite videos.
yeah, I mean, and some of them need it. I've been
I definitely like tough love. I'm Hispanic, so I respond well to get my ass kicked. I don't like being all easy because sometimes you need to get slapped into that urgency.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree, Mark. I watched that video as well, but I mean, I've always, before I even started watching ICT or Reddit, I got into them. I was watching Iman. I mean, I didn't really like his concepts that much. I don't like the way he trades myself.
No, I don't either. Those
But
aren't
I mean, I thought
concepts.
his previous points, he's got a couple of good videos up there, so I've always like watched his videos kind of.
Right. Yeah, and
But
I
yeah,
even said
I
that.
can see what you're saying. It's like my brother, I've been trying to get him to learn ICT and whatnot, and he sent me that video, and I knew like he's sending me this to use it as an excuse to stop or just give up because it's too hard.
Yeah, it is hard. It is hard, but everything that's good is hard. You know, unless you win the lottery, that's
Yep.
easy. But you know,
Yeah, I think it's very hard because most people have never been self-taught.
maybe so.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, getting into the market with no prior experience, like I just
Right.
think about how I looked myself. Like it is really confusing. I just remember how I was when I first started. Like you have no clue what you're looking at when you first open up a chart.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna try to get
And
back to
all
this.
these
I got 20
words.
minutes. I got 20 minutes, and then I need to start looking for trades. So I'm gonna go ahead and motor on through this a little bit and get my prep in. 30-minute, no POIs underneath me. So what I would do is I'll go to the 4-hour, pull it across, see how far I have to go back to get one. Oh wow. So we could free fall. We could literally. This is more of a void. When you get something like this was either FOMC, NFP. What day was that? That was Thursday. So I don't know what comes on a Thursday. It wasn't Wednesday or Friday. But that's the kind of move that if you look at it as fair value gap, sometimes you get tricked and it just blows right through it. So it's a big move up, and then when it comes down the other side, it's a fast move down. So that's kind of what we have there happening now. And it's a tough spot to try to find swing points. I mean, I have to go all the way down to 61. Are you kidding me? That's almost 100 points. It could be on today, folks. I'm going to mark it, and if price starts really getting stupid, that's going to be our draw on liquidity if it comes down here a good ways. And I'd have to go like way, wait, where is it? There it is right there. So let's make that a oh wow, what happened to my template? Oh well, I'll just do it manually. Okay, so now I've got that on the 30-minute. And that's, I mean, it could happen. I mean, we just had that. So, I mean, that's not that much farther for a New York session. Yeah, anything's possible. 15 minutes going to be the same situation. If there's nothing on the 30, there won't be anything on the 15. But sometime, no, I can't even. So this contract doesn't even go back far enough for that to resonate. So I'm going to go to ES1 real quick. That's the continuous contract. And I can go all the way back now. Holy cow, man. It's already past that. Alright, so we're going to lay one there too. Not a bad spot to turn around here if it wants to. 55. So it's like 30 points. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get some retracement in here. It's going to do one or the other. It's going to retrace or it's going to dump. So we just need to be prepared for either one. $28.50.
We were checking 15-minute fair value gap earlier in the morning as well.
$28.50 and $12.50. $28.50 and $12.50. So now I can go back here. $28.50. So if you're not sure what I just did, the monthly contracts, they only go back so far. If you get into a situation where they bleed out and there's no more candles, you got to go to the continuous contract to find your levels, and then you can come back to your contract month and put them in where they go. So if I wouldn't have done that, this would have been my first draw on liquidity, and I knew that was probably too far. I thought, pretty sure there would be something else there, but that's pretty good to work with right here. I got 15 minutes. Russian. No, don't do that. Come on.
Hey, I have a quick question.
What's your name?
ES Futures, is that the same as SPX?
What's your name?
Sierra, Lovely
Sierra?
C.
Oh, Lovely C. All right. Yeah, S&P 500. ES is the futures version of that index.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So if you're used to trading S&P or the US equivalent, the move to ES is pretty simple. Same character. All right, so hourly. So I'm really looking, I guess, just because we've tapped liquidity, tapping a major source of liquidity is the same as bumping into a PDA down here. We don't need a fair value gap as much if we've taken substantial liquidity, and that's definitely what that looks like, you know, that punch down. A little Judas swing before we come back down. In fact, well, I said I was going to wait till 10 or 10 New York, so that's the silver bullet. If it hits before, then I just miss it, and I'm fine with that. I miss trades all the time because I'm trying to be patient and get what's the most probability for me. And I like to explain, you know, exactly what I'm doing and what I'm thinking, so that there's no guessing on, you know, why I did something. Basically, I'm gonna tell you why I'm looking at it. What if I take a trade, you'll know why I took the trade. If I don't take a trade, you'll know why I don't take a trade. I think that's important to get that information, because if you just watch me sit here and push the buy button, you know, you don't get a lot out of that. So this is looking good for retracement in here. So we're in OTE right now, coming up on a previous week's low. This is a protected high because this high created this low and broke this low. So this was the protected low, broke, that makes this a protected high. So you can expect it to come way up. If it breaks that, then you're almost, you know, you're in market structure shift territory, but only on the 15 minute. It doesn't necessarily mean it on the hour. You need to come up a lot higher on the hour. So I'm reading comments here. JJ had to blow accounts for 2 months straight. Right on, yep. Rowan, 2 strong reasons it's going to go down, trying to fill the monthly fair value gap. And look at the bounce.
Implied that if denomination Christians would pursue the Bible and other truth, they would no longer be denomination Christians. That would lead them into oneness, Pentecostalism, and
Got to turn somebody down. Abnasol, got to mute you. Let me know when you get that taken care of. I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome. Anthony Dutoit, welcome. Astville, Bahabi Das, Shadu, Domos. Holy cow, all these new people. Wow. John, I know there's a John, but I don't recognize the last name. Barbos. Juan MX. Meet.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. I think I got just about everybody. Yep. And there's something down there all the way at the bottom, and I can't pronounce that. Cast the Bob. Yep, welcome. So once I get into the 5 and the 15, or the 5 and the 1, Then it's just a matter of, having an idea. I mean, this was probably, on the minute, that was the trade right here, probably. Not really a breakage structure till you get up in here. There's no swing points until here. But it broke it. But, it broke it after this fair value gap. If you went to the 30-second right here, there'd be an entry on that. Because right here, you break a swing right here, broke this swing with this displacement, created this fair value gap. And what I do is I have something called the mark rule. Somebody else named it that, but it is what it is. I add a tick to all my fair value gaps. So that one ends at 25, but I would have went to 50. Okay? If you don't learn anything else, understand that tick will pay you so much money versus what it will cost you if you lose. Because a lot of these fast moving breakaway type moves, they will miss by a tick, literally. And you'll be sitting there going, damn, I back tested that to infinity and back. So let me...
Okay, say that again. I missed the beginning of what you just said.
If you add a tick to your fair value gaps, like here's the fair value gap right here. But when I'm getting ready to take this entry, as soon as the candles form, I'm putting a limit order, or I'm going to market order it one tick above the fair value gap. Because that's the only way I would have caught this entry right here. Okay? Here's the fair value gap. Here's the retest. It misses the fair value gap. But if you add a tick to it, it will catch a lot of those. I mean, a lot. And then you catch these moves. You get one of these moves, it pays for 20 times that you have to lose for that tick to have mattered. So the one tick rule, the mark rule, whatever you want to call it, is money. Definitely money. And so since I said it, now I gotta, if I say something, a lot of times I will go pull something up just to show you where it comes from. So I'm real cautious about, saying what I mean and meaning what I say. Here we go. So this is back testing on the silver bullet. That one, and yeah. So I go through and I compile quite a bit of data on you name it, as far as the different criteria that I can run into on the silver bullet, make notes, and then I turn that into a lesson list, and I highlight stuff that is meaningful to me, and it ends up getting put on my screen somewhere, maybe in an anchored note eventually, to where I can keep track of this stuff, because this is stuff that mattered, either got me into a trade or knocked me out of a trade. So when I back test, this gets put into this, and then I'm always referencing this. So So for the silver bullet, if we miss this one, generally you would have to wait for session liquidity, which would be, London high. So that's kind of, it's the good and the bad thing about the silver bullet. If you just take the straight silver bullet on its own, I need to get back to the minute over here. It's a reversal. So you're waiting for the liquidity, and a lot of times you will get this kind of a stab down. It's kind of, I call it a 3 push, and the third push is the deep liquidity. You can get faked here if you're not careful up in here, right? You got to watch for the market structure. This was a break of structure right here, but I wouldn't have taken it because this was 2 candles, and for me, my displacement candle needs to be the one that breaks structure. So it's a silly rule, but it keeps me, it's won enough times for me that's part of my criteria. You can back test yourself, you figure out what works for you, make it your setup, but I would have passed here because it was multiple candles. And this wick,
So what? Okay.
What's that? You saying something?
I was just trying to understand what you were saying, and I didn't know my microphone was on.
Oh, okay, no problem. I was talking about how this, when it's coming down like this, a lot of times there's like a you get a 2 or a 3 push, different lows that are substantial, and it's trying to induce you into the market because it knows it's going to, rip against you. And you can get faked out if your criteria isn't on point because it looks almost like a silver bullet. But for me, because of my back testing, it wasn't a silver bullet. I would have waited it out. I probably could have got my 5 points here pretty close. But, you want to try to have room for 10 to get 5. I don't know where the next levels would have been here, but down this low, there was 10 points available. And depending on what you're targeting, I mean, I start with 5 points, so that's my goal. And sometimes I will, when I see this second one, if it's going to come back, I'm going to wait until it's like way down here somewhere so I can get as low of a stop as possible. But on this one, this is the one I said there wasn't really an entry on the 1 minute until here. And again, everybody's going to have their own idea of what displacement is. That's really solid displacement on a 5 minute. That's big candles moving. So it would have been a good entry right here, especially this one right here is significant because it does come back and tap here after the market structure break. So technically that's displacement. Here's your retrace into your fair value gap. I mean, you talk about precision. You think that's random? It's not random, right? And then from here, you're straight on up to the promised land. But now we're in the middle of the range. This is where, while I'm waiting to see if it comes up here, I would consider, OTE entry trades back to the other side. So I'm kind of curious to see what kind of reaction we get right here, because we're definitely in OTE, probably just now a little over it maybe. Let's fib it real quick. Over 79.
What was that, the 62%?
62 to 79, so we're over OTE. We're almost, we closed above it. So that tells me we're probably coming up. But you got this fair value gap here, and you got this new week opening gap here. So if it comes up here and taps this liquidity, that's fine. I might take the reversal if I get it. That's hourly liquidity there, since it was a 620 candle, and it's almost a 4-hour candle right here. So that's substantial enough. So
the dollars dropped.
Yeah, it has to be. Sadie, go on.
It took liquidity in reverse, so
right. So the new week opening gaps are good trades too. We did some back testing on that in here as a group.
do you have an indicator that figures that out?
Yes, it's called the Sessions Liquidity Tracker. It's got the fair value gaps, it's got the levels, it's got the new week opening gaps, it's got the consequent encroachment.
What is that called?
I just killed it. Oops, can I back up and get it back? Yeah. Sessions Liquidity Tracker. And that's all I have open on my 1 minute screen. I mean, that's all I need. So it gives me the fair value gaps with the consequent encroachment or mean threshold, whichever one you want to call it. I call it the middle. Sessions range and high liquidity. Yeah, people have a hard time finding it. And the guy, if you go to his trading view, it shows that he has no scripts available. So somebody's working on taking the code and trying to do something with it. When that happens, we'll let everybody know. We got some coders in here. We got some people doing some great stuff with indicators, I'm telling you. So this is a trade I might take out of this new week opening gap if it gives me a fair value gap. I would think about it. In our back testing, what we found was that if it does not close above the new week opening gap and you get a reversal out of it and a fair value gap, it's a high probability trade, and usually it's like a 10-point trade. We noticed we started targeting 5, and we noticed that if it goes 5, a lot of times it goes 10, and it's an easy trade to kill because as soon as the fair value gap is closed, you get out of the trade. So I will take that. If it gives me a fair value gap to the downside right here, I'll take it. because it'd be a real low risk trade, high probability, nice risk reward, lining up with the POAs, lining up with liquidity grab. I mean, there's no reason not to take that if I get what I need.
I can't find it on trading.
Yeah, you may not be able to. There's been some problems. We're trying to work on splicing it out of something else.
Do you have the
I can't understand you.
URL from it?
Yeah, but it doesn't show up. The only reason I have it is because I got it before he went away or took it off the thing. If I was to delete everything, I wouldn't be able to get it back myself. Everybody we've sent there has not been able to get it. So anyway, in the back testing for this, we started off with just taking the fair value gap and putting a 5-point, or a 1 hour trade or something up here. And after we went back and refined it a little bit in the back testing, we found out that anytime the fair value gap is closed, it was a loser. So we just refined that down to a real tight stop. It either runs or you get stopped out for a small loss. So it's definitely a worthwhile trade to take. It just can't close above it.
Yep, buddy.
What's that?
Yep, buddy.
Who's talking? Yeah, I'm definitely going to do the stage thing here pretty quick, because for me to scroll, there's a lot of people on here. For me to try to scroll through and find the one little name that's lit up to turn you down is not worth the effort right now. So what else? So like I said, I've been doing this about 14 months. I started a YouTube channel 2 months after I started and started live trading with my RSI and my high Kanashi candles, and I did it as a journal and a way to be accountable. Someone told me to trade like somebody's watching you, and I didn't understand it fully at the time, but I do now as far as accountability. It's real hard for me to go do something stupid when I've told you all however many of you are, that this is the rule set I'm going to follow for the most part, except for something like this. This is an opportunity maybe to pick something up, but most of my trades are these silver bullet type trades. So for the accountability portion, if I start trying to chase tops and catch bottoms and scalp and all that, I lose my credibility really quick. So I'm going to stay with my rules. I've also got an advanced entry that I can use for trends. So I have a reversal criteria and a trend criteria. That covers pretty much both sides of the market. You're either in a trend or you're in a reversal, unless you're in consolidation. And I have something for that too. It's called the box. So if we get some good consolidation, I always show that up. Hey, what's up, Todd? No, not right now. Kind of waiting to see if I get a fair value gap to the downside right here.
You talking about the box setup?
It's not the one you're thinking of with the consolidation, the up and the drop back into the box and the retest.
Right.
Yeah, no, this is just a. Okay, hold on here. We got maybe some. Oh, I don't even have Trade Debate open. My God, man, I'm slacking. Okay, so this is the screen I have to execute on. So that's going to be a fair value gap. I got to make sure I'm on. I'm going to trade 40 micros. Fair value gap. I'll probably just market this. And then I'll switch over to MES on TradingView, and I should be linked.
Are you buying or selling?
Selling.
Selling, right?
Yep. And I mean, it's nice. You got market structure shift. You got displacement.
No, but you had your button, your mouse on top of the buy button.
Oh, no. Yeah,
I was like, whoa.
Glad I didn't hit it. I do stupid stuff like that sometimes, though. I leave orders open. My orders get triggered when I go to bed. I don't think I can mute everybody, Neil, not without doing it one by one. But by tomorrow, I'll have the stage set up ready, and we won't have to deal with this anymore. So just waiting for this candle to finish. Add one tick. That's going to be where my order goes if I get a chance, if it doesn't push up. I wish it'd drop a little bit more first. I gotta fix this volume on this sound thing too. Right.
Order working.
I'm in one tick below. If it taps that, and it should. I'll be sorry if it doesn't. I should have been on the 32nd, but we'll see what happens. And if that's going to be a sell, then I need to place a buy up here for my stop. I have to do this manually.
Order working.
And it would be...
Order filled.
Alright, so I'm in the order. My stop will be up here if it gets a close. I'm going to leave it room for a wick though, so I'm not going to pull it down yet. And then I'm going to go to change this to 20, and I'm going to create a target.
Order working.
That's my partial.
Order working.
Okay, so I'm in 4 here. I'm in 4 here for a stop. I broke it in half to take a 58, 53.25 would be 5 points. That's my initial take partial. And then I'm going to target this level of liquidity. I'm going to do 2 ticks up. I do the same thing here. I add a couple ticks here because sometimes it'll bounce before it hits liquidity. There could be an order block, breaker block, fair value gap, and I will miss my chance. So that's it. That's my trade. I followed all my rules. Nothing is in my control now. I was precise. I had discipline. I had patience. The win and the loss doesn't matter right now. I won as far as my psychological approach goes. These are the kind of trades I can lose and not go on tilt because I did everything I wanted to do. I control what I lose. I can't control what I win, but what I lose will be exactly what I plan on losing. And if I do, I'll just be on to the next trade. I know this is a good setup. I know this is back tested. I have faith in it. But you all know at the end of the day, it's the market. So this is the part you wait.
Mark, a quick question.
Yeah.
Where did you see the market structure break?
Well, there's a real small one right here.
Oh,
Here's your swing
okay.
point. But I wasn't even
Yeah.
taking, on this trade, I don't take a market structure break because I'm trading the new week opening gap.
Oh,
Switch
gotcha.
over to
Yeah,
NES
it's
now
bouncing there.
and connect to Tradeovate. Now my orders show up and everybody can follow along. So what I don't want to see is I'm only risking, because I'm going to close it if it closes this fair value gap. I might give it this fair value gap. So it'd be less than 3 or 4 points, I guess. So that's fine. But this is the way I try to take every trade mechanically over and over and over and just do the same things. These are the kind of trades I won't regret anything. I won't feel bad about anything. When I've traded in the past and didn't trade this way, I made adjustments. I made some guesses. I didn't have a rule set. And then it was all about doubt and, regret. And I shouldn't have done that. I should have done this, blah, blah, blah. It's all automatic. It's just, and this is how I lose well. This is more important to me being able to lose well because I found out that losing not well is how you blow accounts in the next hour after or something.
Like you don't know. Yeah.
So we definitely want to see another fair value gap here. That'd be awesome. If we can get one on the 5-minute, that's especially strong as well. But we need, there we go. So I'm 58, I'm 56. I take break even sometimes, like break even plus 2, just to always win the trade. I don't want break even because then I pay commissions and fees. So when it gets down low enough, I'd go break even plus 2. But right now, I want to hit this partial first. I hate when it does that. That's so cheesy, man. A lot of times I'll market that out when it does that because it's like bad karma for me when it taps my freaking thing and doesn't give it to me. I hate that. But it's coming down. Do I ever run into streaks where I feel like trailing stops is worse than fixed? Yeah, when my trailing stop gets tagged. If I'm too tight, then I regret that I did it. But it's situational. Sometimes the trailing stop is going to work for you really, really good, and sometimes the fixed R is going to work for you really, really good. So we'll see what we get. If we close above this fair value gap, I may just cut it.
It looks
because this was
like
a substantial liquidity grab. I have no guarantee this isn't coming back up. This was bad juju for me. It actually.
You don't matter. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me if you go up or down. Doesn't even matter. No, it doesn't.
I can't tell who that is. If y'all see a name lit up when someone's doing that, let me know and I'll mute them. But
doesn't
I can't
matter.
see it.
He's
So
just
that's
trying to
good.
say he's not emotionally.
We expect some consolidation here. Push back down. The market always has to go up before it comes down. This is a good sign right here. It took short-term liquidity right here. That's part of the plan. You expect that in a retracement. Very rarely does it do what it did earlier and just scream all the way down. You have to take all this into consideration. I got 16 seconds. Well, I'm so close now. So there was nothing wrong with that. That was an OTE move right there if it comes back down. Anytime you're looking at retracements, you want to give it the opportunity to go past EQ and into OTE. There's no reason to panic. If it starts coming up here, then your odds start going down. But everything up to 79 I'm fine with that. I don't like this. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's see how that fixed RR thing works. I was up $600 almost. Damn it. So I'm still waiting for the close above the fair value gap. I mean, back testing, that's what I tested. It came up on me too fast here. I gave it the OTE, closed above that. But this is my last line of defense right here. And I'm okay with that. It's really bullish. But again, a lot of times you're dealing with inducement to pull you in to then come against you. So that's always in the back of my mind. So that top fair value gap, if it doesn't hold, if I get a close above that, I would get out. Not yet. Let's see what it does here.
Er hat den gleichen Trade wie ich, Alter. Kann ich mal sehen.
I got my hand on the button. Man, if I lose this, that's the kind of thing that would, it's kind of a, an unnatural occurrence that can throw you into I've had this happen before, little stuff like this where I feel like I got gypped and I do something stupid to try to get it back because I feel like I lost money, that I shouldn't have.
Wisst ihr, kommt er mit der neuen
Hey,
Indikator
Mark,
raus.
can you mute
Muss
Hugo
ich da nicht mehr
Ross?
zahlen,
What's his
diese
name?
nächsten Euro. Ist gratis dann.
Hugo Ross.
Hugo Ross.
I'll look for it.
Deswegen habe ich eigentlich seinen Channel abonniert.
I got it.
All right, thank you.
I got it, Mark.
Appreciate it. Who was that?
Audie.
Audie. Oh yeah. All right. Good. All help is good help. Thank you. So good sign here. Expect to move back up out of this fair value gap before we can come back down. I still feel good about it. I mean, I know I have I guess a place where I'm okay up until, and it's pretty aggressive as far as where it can come against me. I know where I expect it should turn around, and then if it doesn't, then I'm like, well, I know from there through back testing that the odds are less. So until it hits those areas or gives me that signal, I'm all in. I still feel like I'm going to win the trade. So far, it's given me everything I need, everything I expect, except for this BS down here. This is a nice failed swing. It did break this one, but it failed this one. So we just need to break through this, get a close. That would be bearish. But it's going to make me pay the price emotionally. So maybe my 5 points. No, I was in a good spot. I mean, I wasn't trying to take it past. I guess I could have targeted this. Might have been a little bit more responsible to catch a swing for this liquidity push here. But yeah, I went for my 5 points, just straight 5 points. I need to do better with that.
All you go for is 5 points?
I can't hear whoever that is, so
5 points can make you a rich man.
what's that?
Someone said you only go for 5 points.
For the partial, yeah. And I want to trail it.
Yeah.
And depending on where I'm at in the day,
Put
where
it in
I'm
perspective.
at, where I'm at for my daily goal, sometimes I'll pull this one up here and just exit at 5 points. I mean, with multiple accounts, 5 points on 10 accounts, that's, $2,500. All right, so we closed that. Which is not a good sign.
Put it in perspective, just one contract on ES, 5 points, it's $250.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
And
I'm being kind of hard-headed right now.
Not saying even. Yeah, it happens.
I should have got out when my fair value gap was closed, but like I said, being hard-headed.
Coulda, woulda, but I think it's looking to play out in your favor. So you always have an opportunity to jump right back in and make that money back plus more without having to revenge trade.
Oh yeah. And that's part of just trading this a lot. I've been here a lot. This is just a failed swing to me, even if it did come past the fair value gap. A lot of times my initial on a silver bullet trade on this reversal, my stop would be up here 2 ticks above the swing high. And many times I've seen it come right up here, a tick above, and I stayed in the trade and I won. So that's in the back of my mind to give it that chance. So, and because I am so bearish on the day,
too many ICT people. Now the algorithm is moving in a few ticks away.
What's that? Speak
I
up.
said, I said maybe, I said maybe there's so many ICT people trading that the algorithm is moving ticks one up and down instead.
All the ICT people are like, yeah, we're ganging up on the market right now.
They're
Yeah,
like, how about 1.5 ticks?
right,
Algorithms patched.
right.
Algorithm's like, why are all these people in the perfect spot? Yeah, to
Right.
fuck this up.
Yeah. You know, and
And
I
I think
don't,
it's something.
I never, I never,
What's up?
I never buy into the whole, the market's after my stop, my little $200 stop or whatever it is. It's not. But the group of us,
Listen,
the group of
if
us that
you're
are
a
looking at
retail
this same
trader, that
exact spot right here, all have our stops right here. That's a level that's a target. It's not me. It's the area. If you have your stop in that area, you're possibly going to get stopped out when it decides to take that liquidity. It doesn't see you; it sees us.
listen, my friend believed that so much when he put on a trade, he put another limit order at his at his stop
I've done
loss.
stupid stuff like that before. I've tried mental stops because I was so worried it was going to see my stop and my limit order or whatever. Um, so we're going to get what we want, um,
Yeah.
and then it's a matter of just trailing it, bringing it down. Hop back out here real quick. So to 51 for that POI, 53 for this one. That's okay.
It was important to note that we had a pretty big move in the London session.
Right.
So
Which
usually
leads
when that
to
happens, you can
right.
expect AM to consolidate, not the best price. So
But PM's going to be
don't
great. PM's going to be
exactly,
great because it's going to come
exactly.
back later and it's going to take this and it's going to take that possibly. Or we get
Yep.
down to the bottom and maybe that's where the liquidity is and it makes a big push down. But either way, we're going to have some good targets to look for this afternoon. I'm more of an afternoon person, really, too.
Yeah,
The,
it works out for me better
the
also.
pattern, the movement
So you
towards the
think
end of the
so
day
you think the
is
market's gonna go?
predictable.
You think the market's gonna go down in the afternoon?
Well, when it's made a big push up, if it's a trending day, it kind of makes this big arcing thing, a bunch of,
But it's been pushing. It's been pushing down all morning.
well, then there's no reason to think it'll stop. I mean, you ride that horse until it turns around, right? Because what'll happen
Yeah.
is it'll go down for 2 more days, and you'll be sitting there thinking, well, damn, I probably should have got in. So as long as it's going down, trade it down. Just keep taking it until you fail.
Shorted it.
What's that?
Right now, it's hanging around support at 40. Well, I'm looking at the cash index. You do the ES.
Right. I mean, I've got DX over here, so and that's what I want to see exactly.
It's coming down.
Why does it do that, man? Dang. Ugh. Yeah. So this is a nice setup for a good expectation of a deep drop. I mean, it came back up. It shook everybody out except me that went short. Not except me, but a lot of people didn't fade that reversal, right? So everybody that was shorting around here, this got them out, and then that fueled the market back down. And when you think about it algorithmically, and I tell people to act like they could do whatever they wanted to the market to push the market. How would you try to get people's money? How would you try to get them into the market? How would you try to scare them out of the market? If you think with that perspective, you'll be amazed, especially if you're sneaky at how well you can predict. Well, here's what I would do because I'm a trader and I know what would hurt me here and I know what would make me anxious here, and the market will do that. And it's because
Order filled.
people are programming it to do that.
They understand human psychology.
Oh, I mean, I've told people I think they've got focus groups. I think they've got rooms full of traders. and they run them by scenarios and say what is, hook them up to electrodes and be like monitoring their heart and their brain and running charts by them and compiling that data, and then AI gets a hold of it. There's billions and billions and trillions of dollars behind this thing. If you don't think these people have every uh, you know ability to get the most out of it to try to beat us, it is. They do. They have all the resources. So we're at $800 right now.
They even got your DNA. If you ever took one of those, find your family and your
Right. Yep.
family tree.
I'm not giving them nothing. And then I'm also trading DR IDR, if anybody's familiar with that. On the 5
That's
minute.
something I studied a little bit, but I never could implement in my trading plan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just well, you start studying too much and you add too much, then all of a sudden it's like it's blurry to me at least. I try to.
Yes,
Yeah, it is
yes.
blurry.
Learning too much, which is usually what happens at the beginning.
I started trading that at the same time I started trading ICT. So I had 2 different notebooks going. I had 2 different video schedules going. It was just crazy. And instead of getting really good at one, I got decent at both, which, is not terrible, but I could have been months farther along in my development with this stuff had I not detoured on that stuff. But it was good for me. I mean, I was one of the first ones. I was the first one that traded that live, made video tutorials. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see all the early DR stuff where I'm like, this is magic, this and that, using the database.
So I found you.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
So I'm going to take this swing right now. I think this is fairly protected. I'd like to see another fair value gap here to support that, and then I would bring it up a couple ticks above that. But for right now, this is all win now. I mean, it come all the way back against me, and I've made good money. I'm over $1,000 right now. If I get my ultimate target, which here's the thing, here's where you start having to just make a decision, because from here to here, equilibrium is going to bring me across my stop. So if it starts to retrace here and it wants to make an equilibrium or OTE retracement, then I would get stopped out. So I'm going to leave that there. If it were to come up, if this was a little bit higher, I might try to get a few ticks above 50. But since it's already came up here and purged and came down with energy, I feel like this is the move back down. This was the the fake. This was the secondary leg of liquidity, getting people out, and we should be coming all the way down. If I can get through here, then this is no problem. I was trying to debate on if I should take a swing here or swing here, but this is a really good spot to, because this is free fall right here, and that's kind of what I was saying. It felt like we might get some of that because of the liquidity void on the other side. We're in a 15-minute. We didn't close beyond it. Real strong on the 30. There's nothing on the... Sometimes I gotta check, make sure the indicator's on. It's not. That'll bring it back though. There we go. And then I also like having the imbalance finder because it shows me all the mitigated fair value gaps, and I can use those as inverted fair value gaps. This has been filled, but it leaves me the red mark. And I know where they are, natively if I look, but the extra few seconds it takes for me to say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, is sometimes, I don't want that much hesitation. This way I'm just on it saying, okay, it's red, 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 red. All these are mitigated fair value gaps. All of them can act as inverse fair value gaps, which would be like trading through a breaker block and coming back up into it. So it's a strong POI. So if we close above this, I'll probably collapse the trade. I'm not going to take a chance on it being an equilibrium move. And that's the only PO I have really for support. So we'll play that. And that would get me, that would still get me, you know, halfway, over halfway to my daily goal probably. If we can close that, that's good. Close below consequent encroachment. This candle can do whatever it wants to as long as it doesn't close this fair value gap. If it makes a big energetic move, that's not going to be good, but it could be a stop hunt and leave a big wick. So you just got to kind of, you know, wait it out. Sometimes that'll get you because it'll push up and you're not sure, and it'll close up here and you lost that much profit waiting on the close. But the close is substantial. That's a signal. So if I get the signal, then I'll get out. If I don't, I'll stay in. I'm $5 away from my daily goal right now. So if I can hit this trade, I'd be very, very happy.
One in the chat, your buy stop's 4, but you have 2 contracts on.
Yep, that's the lovely part about this crap. Thank you. I do that all the time.
Yeah, it's happening.
Order working.
And I got to fix that noise too. That's about irritating. Okay. So I'm going to start playing with Ninja Trader here pretty soon because Tradeovate does not support bracket orders for copy trades for multiple accounts. And when I trade my cash account with Tradeovate, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, you pre-configure them, you save the settings, and it's one button, one click, and every order goes into play. All your lines are in place, your auto break even, your auto trail, everything is already done, and you just sit back and, you know, go get some coffee. It carries you through the entire trade. It takes your partial for you, everything. So I believe Ninja Trader will do that for me. And somebody in the Discord that's a Ninja Trader Pro is going to help me out with that. Your initial stop, where was your initial stop? So, Todd, my initial stop was above, how did this fair value gap not get mitigated? Or am I looking at it wrong? Oh, I took it way back here, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So my initial stop would have been the close of the fair value gap, but it's hard to explain. I mean, I just kind of had a feeling because of being so bearish that we are and how this had came up in the failed swing. I wanted to give it that chance. So initial stop was here. Normal stop would have been up here at 5. You know, I give it 5 points. So anything I do under 5 points, I feel like I have the discretion. You know, a lot of times when I pull my stop down and then push it back up, it looks like I moved my stop, but no, I'm adjusting to the immediate position, the immediate price action. I won't go above that 5. I'll go back up to where I was and it'll stop there. You'll never see me push a stop up if it gets within 1 tick of where I'm at. I just take the L. And there's times that I could have won the trade, but it's more about, like I said, it's for me, I need consistency, I need precision, I need confidence. If I start playing with my rules, it's real easy to go from 1 tick to, well, I'm sure it's going to turn around. There's a level over here. I'll push it to that level. It starts getting close to that level. Well, you need to give it a couple more ticks. And then, well, you're right here at this level. You might as well just push it. And then you're 9 points away, right? And I've done that too many times. And, you know, a couple times I may have won doing that and it reinforced the bad behavior, but I don't want to live like that. So I set it, I forget it. If I get stopped out, I get to the next trade. No bad feelings, no lost sleep. It's all about numbers and probabilities. So, you know, get in, get out. Don't dwell on it. Don't think about it. You did everything you can do. I like saying you can lose trades like this and you're still a great trader. And that's important to me. I'm still going to give it this 1 tick above this high. I'd hate to lose all that. I would have lost 5 points. So that was a nice liquidity grab right there. It doesn't need to come up here this low. that high, that low. So this is protected. If it goes above that, it would be a bad sign. So, but I'll give it that much room, and it's always just a dance. You know, it's a dance on each trade, a little bit different nuance. The distance between your stop and something that you can use, you know, for placement levels. I feel like I'm gonna get burnt. Yep.
Stop field.
All right, so 600. Oh, I'm still in the market. Great. It did it again. Damn it.
Order filled.
That's bullshit. Excuse my French, man. This piece of shit. I got to get Ninja Trader. I just have to get Ninja Trader. It's doing it to me every time now. Like literally. I had a two contract stop there, and I don't even know what happened. It says I was out too, and there's nothing there for that one that kept on running. There's one line there. There was one line there, but my P&L was still moving. All right. So if you fib this now, you'll see there's your stop hunt. Here's our reversal coming up. 50%, perfect 38. Perfect 38 tap right there. If it comes up higher, it's even better for the OTE. You know what? If it does this crap, if it OTEs right here into this fair value gap, it would be hard for me not to take it. Don't you turn around yet. Don't you turn around yet. Oh, man. That would have been my buy right there. All right, well, that's the breaks. But so yeah, with ICT, it's all about equilibrium. It's all about the levels. It's all about liquidity, and you know, keeping all of that kind of floating around in your head as you're trading, and using it to make these decisions. And the more you do it, you know, the easier it is. And that's why I like to stick with one instrument. If we can. How far would we have to drop here? We got a long way to go.
I think right now we're trapping shorts.
Oh yeah, of course. Yep, that's what it's all about. Before it comes down here, it has to come up here. I mean, that's the market. There was a 5-minute here that got violated, so.
Before it goes where, you said? Before it goes up?
Well, before it comes down here, it has to come up here. That's just the character of the market. That's the dynamics. It's not going to, you know, just always fall. When it does fall fast like that, it's trying to fall quick enough to keep you out because you're scared it's going to turn around at any moment, you know. Those of us that are, you know, fairly in tune with it know that the farther it goes down, the more likely it is to eventually bounce off something else. So it drops really, really quick like it did here, right? You're going to catch that falling knife. It can turn around here, it can turn around here, it can turn around here. Anywhere. As soon as I see it drop to here, I'm like, well, now it's right here. Most likely, you know, there's a chance. My probabilities are lower. There's very few retests on the fair value gaps. That's designed to keep you out of that market, to get those shorts, because they want to make the money. They don't want you to make the money. And that's just like I said, if I was the guy pushing the market, I'd be like, well, here's how I would stop people from getting short on me. Is I would just dump it so quick that by the time they, you know, if they're not really sharp, they're going to hesitate, and pretty soon I'm down here somewhere. And then it's like, you know, I mean, there are people that will take it, you know, they'll trade it down here, they'll go short. They love those people because then it, you know, does this. So I want to see what we're playing with the consequent encroachment on the 15 previous week's low. So these are areas of interest. weak opening gap. Still. Let's see what it does. This is kind of a pennant forming, which is like a wind up. The tighter the wind, the bigger the spring. And if I was going to box it, like I was saying, this isn't really a great box. But if you start getting consolidation, it's always a good idea to put a box around the range. And then wait and see, how long it goes sideways. The longer it goes sideways, the better. The longer it goes sideways, the more predictable it is. And you can capitalize on that. Because generally, before it makes a move out of consolidation, it's going to sweep one side. It's going to induce the market one way, and then it's going to go to the actual original direction that it wanted to go. So I always draw the box. I wait for the breakout. I expect the breakout, and then I look to go short. Because there's a whole class of retail traders who are breakout traders who've got this same box here, but they've got a different philosophy. Their philosophy is when it breaks the box, that's bullish. Some of them will wait for retest, some of them won't. Some of them have limit orders sitting right here, one tick above this box, and they're in the market. And sometimes they're right. Sometimes it does break out of consolidation, but it's like a 50-50 proposition. I'm not trying to trade 50-50. How can it be more predictable after it breaks? So the longer it goes sideways, the more liquidity that's being built. So if you get a lot of liquidity built, right, above every high, there's stops. Below every low, there's stops. And this time distortion is just the market's way of generating liquidity to carry it to the next step. And they need orders. They have to buy our orders to move the market. It's not like Apple where they've got, billions of shares. This is a one-to-one proposition. Somebody has to sell for somebody else to buy.
They need more gamblers.
Well, for sure. So anytime you see the consolidation, you know that's, if you're a smart money concepts trader, you know that we're in a period of generating liquidity. And if it's really generating liquidity, then the next step is it has to take the liquidity before it can make the move. So if it's going to go up, it's going to come down first. It's going to sweep the lows of the box. And then you would expect it to then make the move. It's going to get everybody, it's going to take the liquidity from the people here. It's like a threefold move, really, liquidity-wise. And if I was the market maker, this is exactly what I would do to get the most money out of this move. I'd build this box. I'd set up all this liquidity. While you're taking this liquidity, you're also inducing people to go short, right? So here's this liquidity here, and every point on the line, and then as the market comes through that, it takes their liquidity. Well, then people go short, so it's a double whammy because it's coming back. So it takes the original liquidity, induces people to get into the market, takes their liquidity when it breaks that level, comes up here, and then it takes all of this liquidity. And that was the original move all the time. Doesn't always play out, but it's high enough probability that, if you watch me long enough, you'll see me do this enough. And I don't know, 70% of the time, it does what I just said it'll do. Maybe more. It seems like it's a lot. Because it's just a signal.
That's what's happening in the NAS right now. Actually, I had a pending order. I entered one, but I had a pending order right on the order block on NAS though.
Right. So for the DR traders, who am I got to turn down here? Somebody help me out. Sounds like someone's got a baby on their lap. And I love babies, but
thank you so much.
I can't even see who it is. They're not like
It was Hunt Trader.
Hunt Trader. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I mean, since there's not a lot of conversation going on, I'm just going to turn people down as I see them. If you want to talk, then just hit me up. All right, so we get back to, I'm still on, I was doing that on MNQ, easy. So irritating. I lost my box. Did I erase it? There we go. So I try to get the most amount of wicks as I can in it. The likelihood that it comes all the way up here to come around is, I think the more areas you have for it to break, the better. This is kind of an uneven thing, but I'm expecting it to go, to go short. So we'll see. And with these up here already, I mean, that took a good amount of liquidity. So this kind of makes it a non-ideal box, I guess. It doesn't have the normal evenness of the relative highs and lows. Like, you want it to be something more like this, where it's more points. But, I mean, there was your, little fake, little one tick move. Now we come back up.
Order filled.
You just have to take my money this time. So that was, and I did it half size, man. Come on.
Order working.
Well, half size, whatever. I'm definitely not going to be up that far though. Since I believe that was probably the stab, I'm just going to go right above that. It did take enough of that liquidity to count. Hopefully that wasn't the top of the box. But I'm giving it 57, not quite 2 points, so that's fine. And I'm half size too, unfortunately. Because I left my order set for where my partials were that I made earlier, which was, now I'd have to do well, just for the sake of, no, I'm just going to ride this out with the 2 and see what happens. I'm fine either way. I said I was just going to take silver bullets, but we're right in the middle of the range, and this is one of those situations where maybe I'm trading a little bit differently because of you guys being here, but I'm not being any less accountable to what I believe and talk about. So see, that might have been the top of the box. This might be the push. We'll see if I can get, I got 2 ticks above, give it the fair value gap. Remember, I got 5 points to play with, so as I'm here, I'm like, kind of, since this is here, I have a reason to want to try and hold this level here. I would let it wick through the fair value gap to beat me. And sometimes the push through the box is substantial, sometimes it's not. I just don't like always waiting. You don't always get a fair value gap to the other side on that. It's not always the obvious type of reversal move. It's just, it comes back down looking like it's still going to consolidate, and then it keeps going. So 2 1/4 points at half position, that's fine. Don't be sad because you broke your, oh, you're talking to someone else. I'm holding until 79 retrace for more confluence. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. Yeah. Yeah, rules are good. Hey, good job, Ronnie. I see you're killing it again. I'm doing the Top Step Funny account. I just signed up today. Oh, you're live now then, huh? You're in the eval. Right on, brother. How long have I been out of voice? I don't even know how I got turned out. Can you hear me? Check, check. Anybody?
I can hear you, I just can't see your stream.
Somehow I got bumped out of the stream. There we go. So normally when it does that, it gives me equal highs. I move the box up to where the equal highs are. That's the new box. Whether or not that was the break of these highs, we won't know until it either breaks it again or comes back down. But there's a lot of inducement right here to go long. Liquidity's been taken, so the market can turn. It has permission to turn. Whether or not it keeps screaming up here, I don't know. Like I said, this was kind of a weak box, but it's stronger now with these relative highs here. Nothing really here, just that same one.
I got filled at 58.75 on that FVG.
Yep. It's consequent crushing.
But it's kind of just, yeah, it's just kind of chopping around here, so it'll be interesting to see.
That's a great entry. Ronnie, I was telling you, good job on your top step. You smashed it. He's been killing it every day in paper trading. And I've been asking him when he's going to go live with it. I'm going to get him streaming here pretty soon if he keeps doing this. Okay, that's substantial. That's what we want to see. I should have been full position. I can't believe I did this. I just got to relax. I mean, stuff like that would used to make me feel like I lost money. Yeah, you're doing great, Ronnie. I mean, I've been following you and watching your stuff, and you're just killing it, dude. Yeah, Queen, I didn't notice I was off the stream, so somehow I don't know what happened. You're out, JJ? Right on. I could get out and be at my daily goal right now, but it's early, and I'm trading all week this week, every session. I'm going to do a couple London too. I put a poll up in the Discord. If anybody wants to see a London stream, go hit that poll. Yes, Ronnie, I'm short right now. I was short here, and I took a partial and a break even +2, and then I got back in on this here. And I would love for this to hold. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's a nice gap.
Yep.
Nice gap on that candle.
If that holds, we're in money. Yep. Right on. Calm down, baby. I'm gonna get that back now, all of it. Come on. I'm gonna get half position back, but
order working.
So I don't know why that's not lined up. There we go. It hesitates to move. So I'm gonna pull it. To there, take this liquidity. I'll give that much back to not have to play with the big retracement and bouncing and consolidation right here. If I can get through this fair value gap, this is easy money here. If I try to take this, then I could be in for all kinds of time distortion and messing around. I'm not going to let this become a loser no matter what, so I'm going to give it one tick above that fair value gap. Okay, so did the box make sense? Right? Like I said, I do this all the time. It's money. I mean, and I know ES. So, if I try to do this with NQ, I don't know how, it moves different, it moves more. I usually expect just a little break on the opposite side that I'm expecting it to run. And when I see that, I get in way up here somewhere, win a little higher. But it's a high probability trade coming out of consolidation. If you have a bias, and I've got a strong short bias because of, all of this gave me confidence that was a good one. So consequent encroachment, 1 tick, I think. No, that's in a weird spot. All right, so we'll go there. I'll give it 1 tick to the consequent encroachment. That's it. Volume imbalance right here. That's good. That's real good. That's very bearish. You know, the people that say this stuff doesn't work, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, this is so precise using these levels. You know, I couldn't help myself but make that response video to that dude yesterday. I saw it and I was like, I didn't even think about it. I just came in here and sat down and started going off. But I kept it PG, so that was good. I don't want to be... I like ICT, but sometimes you get carried away with the language. So this is kind of what it looks like on here.
I think when you have an aggressive personality, or you're just like, you're always gonna rub people the wrong way. It's just the way it is. People don't like people that are assertive.
Yeah, well, he's got a monster ego, and you know, if I was the GOAT, I can't say that I wouldn't either. You know, he's paid his dues. The dude knows what he's doing. He's trained more people at this than anybody else out there. There's more people, you know, talking about ICT than most stuff as far as SMC. I give him that, but you just can't get ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? If it was me, I'd be challenging people to the Discord. Just come to the Discord. We'll settle it, right? You trade yours.
Order filled.
I almost challenged that dude to come in here, but I'm not trying to start no, you know, stuff. All right, so next we would look for the next retracement.
Remember, he also said that he has, you know, a little disorder.
Well, he admits he's got some, you know, stuff going on.
Yeah, he's
all right, so on this leg here now, because we've still got so much room to fall. I mean, I don't expect it to drop all the way down there, but if it comes back up in here, and it's probability, high probability. So from that low to that high, do away with the box now. 50% OTE would be perfect right here. So if I get a retracement off of here up into here, I'll go short again. I'll go short until I lose, basically. I mean, it's going to break market structure eventually. But from right here at 55, I could get up here to 5 points. I could get above this POI here, above this one here. Well, it depends on where I take it, but with 5 points to play with. I need to cancel that. See, when I leave these open, because Tradebait is not an OCO with on the copier, it's not an order cancels order. So even though my target was hit, I have to manually go close my stop. And I added this window here to show me that I still have orders working. Before I put that on there, I was going to bed and I was trading EZ, MES, CL, whatever it was. And I'd be over here and I forgot that I didn't close my stop. And one time I woke up to a nearing auto liquidation message. And it had ran all the way against me, all the way to the close of New York, and basically trashed my evals. So I put this in here for that
I think
reason.
you'll really like Ninja. So I'm on Apex and I'm using Trade-Evade, but I trade with Ninja and those ATM strategies.
Right.
So I can do like 5 MES.
Oh yeah,
and
right.
Then I'll
exactly.
do like
and this has
TP.
I'm familiar with the bracket orders, and I can configure the bracket orders. I mean, when I'm able to do this, it's all automatic. This is the most amazing stuff, and I know Ninja has the same capacity. So you can set take profit plus stop loss only, take profit only, depending on what kind of stop loss you use. I mean, look at your options: trail stop limit, auto break even, auto trail, auto break even plus auto trail. And you can set as many orders as you want. I could do 2 micros, 3 micros, 2 micros, 5 micros, 4 micros, and set it all up on like a 20 micro order. And it would place those partials for me. It would place those. Each one would do its thing. It's really cool to watch. I've got a Trade-Evade review video where I set it up and I show it on my YouTube, where it's using the bracket orders, and it's just set it and forget it. It's really cool. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, I pegged that pretty good as far as catching the bottom here without waiting for this. Okay, so this is another thing that I feel like is, you know, something that I've adapted that works well for me. I don't go all the way to the bottom. I would rather get out of this trade with a couple ticks difference than take the chance on it catching this fair value gap and turning around, right? So the 1 tick added to the fair value gap pays big. Stopping short just a couple ticks pays big, especially if it goes against you and you lose all your money and, you know, turn a win into a loss, depending on your risk management. I've had that happen, and that's why I've made that kind of a rule. So killer day on the eval so far. Killer day. All right, so you can go through this with me, and we'll fill out the trade plan tracker, my trade tracker. So this is Monday, 9/25. I need to get TradeAway back over here so I can kind of see what's going on. But while there's nothing happening, I'm going to fill this out while it's fresh in my mind. I took 2 trades. First one was 10:06. New York 1. So any questions in here? I'll do that real quick. Go through there. Nice move down. Missed my chance to get in. Is somebody singing? It sounded like someone was singing. Quick question. Today was my first day to trade live through TopStep with TradeAway as the broker. While paper trading, as soon as you enter a trade, you can select profits and stop loss. How do you do that with live trading view? I link my, I execute on TradeAway, but then I'm linked, so it shows up on Trading View, and then you can slide them around, Ronnie, if that's what you're talking about. Once you make the orders on TradeAway, they'll show up over here, and you can do whatever you want with them. ICT is hard to watch all the swearing. Yeah, right. Only watching his YouTube videos, right? I coded some sick auto trading strategies using NinjaTrader. Right on, Neil. But when you have multiple accounts, you have to select each account individually to place brackets. Right, exactly. And Backtest Jess does that. She was telling me that she set a swing the other night, and I know she's using TradeAway. And I said, well, how did you do that? Because I set the same swing, and I woke up, I couldn't sleep because I knew that if it hit and then went down and hit and then went back up and hit my order, I would get another auto liquidate message. So I woke up and I killed it like $30 negative. And then I woke up and it was all the way down here. I would have killed FOMC. I mean, I would have just crushed it. And she did. And it was funny, we had the same thing in mind. And she went individually on each order, each account, and set her bracket orders up and then went to bed. And I'm like, damn, dedicated. No, Todd, these were not silver bullet trades. These are ICT concept trades that I use in between silver bullet trades. There's no silver bullet here. This is consolidation. We're still in the DR range. If you use these things, you know, I mean, I'm done for the day if I want to be. I'm well over my daily. You can mute us all. Yeah, starting tomorrow, everybody will come in muted or as a listener only. My silver bullet trade will come in once this liquidity down here is taken, but I'm going to be really careful because of the bearish nature of the market. There could be a lot of, I don't even know if I'd have to wait that long. I might try to take a reversal off of this. It's all about the criteria. If you get the signals, you can take it anywhere. I mean, here, you could have took this, break a structure, fair value gap, retest, and you could have made a huge win. So that's the advanced model that I use. Let me show that one. I got to get back to ES. Z. That's this one here. It's sort of a reverse silver bullet. And it's on episode 9 at 20 minutes and 15 seconds into that episode. So everything I do when I say it's ICT, I can point you to the video and to the timestamp where I get my rules, I get my ideas, I get my concepts. This is all him. I might add like a little thing here, a little something there. My displacement might mean something different to me than it does to you. You might need a intermediate swing. I'm going to take the short swing. There's variables, and we all have our reasons for the variables that we use. Thanks, Mark. And traders done for the day. Bye. All right, Pepcoco. Pop back to previous day UCOP possible here. Essentially at OTE with DR range at the moment. Right on, pump. I didn't see if my Judas showed up today. I think I turned it off somehow on accident. Unless I turned the labeling off maybe or something. It's got the fair value gap here, but it doesn't say Judas anymore. So eventually I'll have to get you to help me with that. All right. If you're already into month 4, just finish 2016. 2016 is what opened my eyes. That's where I started, and that's where the lights started going off, and I said, this is it. It all made sense. Because everything he told me I had been fighting against and feeling in my heart about the market, turns out it's true. It is against you. It does have your number at times. It is trying to get you to do things just so it can turn back around against you. And if you know that, right, here's the thing. You got the keys to the kingdom once you figure that out, because if you know it's trying to trick you, it's a lot harder to get tricked, and you can be on the side of the tricker instead of the trickee, if that makes sense. And that's kind of what we just did up here. We knew the market wasn't reversing. We knew this was a retracement to get everybody out that went short, get them out, and then go back and take this liquidity. This was always the goal right here. This was always the goal. Or, if you slide to the side, you can keep going down. This might have been the ultimate goal. We'll get a retracement now. On the 1 minute, I mean, you kind of got to be careful. I mean, there was a liquidity grab here. At this point, this is when you start grabbing the fib and looking for equilibrium, premium and discount. So I would be looking for since I'm using this as my target, I'm going to fib that. That's where I think the ultimate draw on liquidity is. And we're just tapping 50% of it right now. So this would be a viable short right here. I mean, this is where you would expect it to turn around if it's coming down here. That's the 50%. If it comes up into here in the OTE, that's even better. Tighter stop, a perfect OTE entry, high probability, lots more profit. The higher it goes, that's an extra 5 points I'd get on the way back down. And then if you look at market structure, high, low, failed low, lower low, makes this a protected high, most likely won't come beyond that. Then from here, we don't make a new high, come down, make a new high. So from here to here, broke this high, and then this high breaks all of this. So now this is a protected high. In other words, it took a lot of money to go from this high to push it below this low, and there's no reason for it to go back up that high again. It doesn't mean it can't, but that's a structure you don't see a lot of. I mean, it's, when it starts getting this low. And you can fib it the other way too and see what the value is. So it came to OTE this way if it was going to push up, if it was going to be a retracement back up. It also came below equilibrium and could go up. So, but that's why we have a bias. So our bias tells us most likely that's not going to happen. Most likely this will happen. And there's a lot of most likelies in there, I know. How about fibs from body to body? ICT does it for standard deviations. I haven't got there yet. Yeah, I haven't got there yet. I haven't watched all of the 22 even yet. I mean, we're going through it in the group together every week. We have a review. We assign videos. And then we get together for a live stream.
What time frame is that chart you have on the board? Sorry. What time frame is that chart on the right?
It should be the 1 minute, yeah. I lost my little thingy. Anchor text. All right, so this is great. This is great. Let's see if it comes up here. I mean, this, I don't know if I would have called that displacement, all of this here, but this is definitely displacement. Look at her go. This is great, man. I don't see it breaking this. That looks like a stop hunt. You could easily throw a point at this on that wick.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
So, do you have? So I'm migrating from CFDs using MetaTrader 4 and 5. Do you have a specific video in your channel to talk about how to set things up for to trade futures and what platforms and that sort of thing?
I have a video called "A Guide to Understanding Futures."
Okay.
That's pretty good for that. And then I also have a TradingView tutorial that I just did live stream and a TradeAvate review. I don't have that many videos. I've got like 40, so it's only a page or two to scroll through. But you'll see TradingView, you'll see TradeAvate, and you'll see a Guide to Understanding Futures. And in the Discord, if you go to resources, I think I have the TradingView and the futures video kind of teed up because they're good, beginners resources for futures and trading. What are you using? What platform?
I'm using MT4.
With futures?
To trade NASDAQ, yes.
Okay.
No, MT4. So I don't know if you've ever used MT4, MT5.
I've opened it. Yeah, I've opened it and loaded it. And
you're like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. I was done. I mean, there was a prop firm I wanted to use, and they were using that instead of TradeAvate. And I'm just tired of learning platforms. I started with Robinhood. I went to TradeStation. I've done Webull. I've done Thinkorswim. I don't know. And I got decent with all of them. It's amazing how much work you put in when there's this much money involved. So I spent the time to do it, and I'm just kind of burned out on it. I'll learn NinjaTrader next because I'm going to keep trade copying as long as I can, because for me that's the future. I could have taken this. I mean, I'm trying not to get overly greedy. I mean, we're way past the silver bullet hour. Sometimes just not taking a trade and relaxing is nothing wrong with that. I've got.
What did you say is the future? Copy trading? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's when you have one account that you trade it and you get paid for 10 accounts. So I've only made $136 today in my trades, but I've got 10 accounts. So that turns it into almost $1,400 on just this little bit of whatever I did right here. My daily goal is only 1,000, so I'm already 400 or 380 over my daily goal, and we're not even into the day. We still got the afternoon. I can't hear you, man. You're muffled, and your microphone sounds like it's under a pillow. What are you saying?
Crazy because it's not. Can you hear me now?
What's your name? I'm going to try to turn you up a little bit. You are Toy Nacido. Yeah, I was going to ask my wife about that. All right, I got you.
Yeah. One of the guys in here figured it out.
Toy Nacido.
What I was going to ask you is, how exactly does the prop firm work? So you pay whatever percent of the number of the $50,000, and then what happens?
No, you don't. Hold on, whoa. You don't pay a percentage of anything. You pay a flat fee to get the evaluation. Each account has a different level, and that you pay. So I like Apex because they run these 80% off sales, and I can get 50Ks for $37, and on a 90% off sale, I can get them for 19. And I will load up all 20 accounts and trade the hell out of that. So it's really a good deal. Now you got to pay. If you pass them and you get evals, then you got to pay a one-time fee or a monthly fee. I went with the one-time fee because if I pay them monthly, it's, you know, it would be like $3,200 a month for 20 accounts at $160. No, I think it's less than that. But after a couple months, you would have been better off just paying the one-time fee. So if you have some confidence, you think you're going to do it. If you pay the one time. If you're not sure, then you might want to go with the monthly because you won't lose as much if you blow the account in the first week, like I did. And I had paid the full, paid the lifetime, so I was out $1,600. But I learned a hell of a lot of lessons from that, and it made me a whole lot better trader. So it was worth it. Education, tuition, whatever you want to call it. And this was the move, man. Order block. Bam. And inverse fair value gap. That's almost like a, I bet there's a breaker in there
Once
too
you
somewhere.
blow your account, that's it. Once you blow your account, it goes to zero.
Yeah, if this goes to zero, I'm done. So I get 2,500 to play with, and I like to keep it at 2,500, right? So I'm already getting up close to halfway in the challenge, and I'm full drawdown. So I'm trading the way I'm supposed to be trading. I'm taking my profit, keeping my losses small. That's kind of how you have to do it. You can't let stuff go way, way up here and come back to you, because with Apex, it's a trailing drawdown on your unrealized profits. So it's a little different than an end of day, but it's more challenging, but it's more beneficial. So I weighed it, and I want to trade 20 accounts. That's just the way I'm going to do this. I like being able to know that if I get one 5-point move, that's $5,000 with a mini. I can make one trade a week. You know how patient I can be, and how, if I just need one trade a week. Now, I'm not going to take one trade a week, but, if for whatever reason I took 3 and I lost 1 and I, won 2, then that puts me up 1. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a high number of trades. I just need to be 1R at the end of the week to be $5,000 up for that week. And $5,000 times a year is $250,000. So for me, the futures, the margin, the smaller amount that you need to get into the market with, and the buying power that you have, especially with this. I've got $500,000 in buying power right here, 1050Ks. The potential is just, ridiculous. So we'll see right here. Now, if we break this, that could be substantial. And this was a solid displacement market structure shift right here. But there was also a lot of liquidity right here too. So that would give the market the push. Go back over here. So I'd like to see this one. Bam! Pushed right through all that. Okay. Well, if it doesn't close above this new week opening gap, I'll take the same trade that I took right here, because I have the same setup. It doesn't matter how many times it hits it. If it doesn't close above and it gives me a fair value gap to the downside, I'm back in. And this is really a nice trade too, because it's, you bummer, man. It closed above. All right, then that means it's probably going to keep going. Or that's what the back testing that we did. If it breaks it, then generally, it doesn't have much reason to go up, but every situation is a little different. This could be a silver bullet trade right here, back to the downside, sure. So we'll treat this one like a silver bullet. In fact, we might do this like a 30-second. If I can see this real quick. So I got my 30-second set up right here. We got our liquidity here. So we're going to look for so where was the hourly liquidity? That's 10, 17. That push right there was the hourly liquidity. So I got to do this every once in a while to carry my new week opening gaps over. There we go. But see what I mean? I was able to tell the difference between this and this from back testing. I knew this was a trade. I knew this wasn't a trade. That's why back testing is so important. And we're reaching now. So high. Low. Higher high. Well, we'll see what happens. That's on the hour too, but I don't know. I've only taken that trade twice on the 32nd, so I'm still kind of working that out in my head as far as, you know, I was talking about each one has its own character, its own, you know, kind of the way it moves, and I don't have enough experience in this particular trade to know like how much consolidation I need. I mean, this could have been the consolidation right here, and this could have been the break, which would tell me to look for the first fair value gap on the short side on the 32nd, but I don't know if... So from there, what liquidity did it take? From 11.15, 10.17. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Going above the midnight open here, maybe. I'm just curious how much this move has moved the... So kind of bullish now on this. Smash through all of that. About to close this fair value gap. This low made this high. So we have market structure shift on the 15-minute. We have a close above the bodies. So we're bullish now on the 15-minute. Yeah, here too. So what's our POIs? Wow, this looks crazy on this screen. Look at that. That's insane. Just vertical. Volume imbalance there. So we could have targeted that. I mean, once it started getting up there, fair value gap, volume imbalance, more fair value gaps. There's all kinds of resistance here, but that's the thing. When it's going somewhere, it doesn't matter what you have above you or below you. So a lot of times part of my trying to trade mechanically and the see trade, take trade idea comes from the fact that I've back tested enough to know that when I see the criteria are met, the criteria outweigh the environment. They outweigh the narrative. So even if there's POIs up here or PDAs up here or PDAs down here, it's not going to matter because that signal means that those PDAs aren't going to hold. That, you know, it's a good indication that they're going to fail. But in my mind, when I started getting fearful, I was like, oh, there's those equal highs above me. Oh, it's not going to go short. It has to go up here first. And I talked myself out of the best trades. And then it would do exactly what it's supposed to do. It would turn around, it would dump, and then I'd be pissed off because I talked myself out of my trade. And I saw that in my journaling and saw that in my reflection on why I was, you know, struggling and why I went on tilt. And I identified that as a big source. So see trade, take trade means when I get the criteria, I take the trade. I don't care about anything above me. I don't care about anything below me. I don't care where I am, you know, other than, you know, the fib and making sure I'm at my point of, you know, liquidity sweeps and things like that, and in the right area of the range. If I see it, I just take it, and I have no regrets. If I don't take it, I'm a lot worse off. The consequences are a lot worse, and my mentality goes to crap. So if I just keep taking the trades, I know the probabilities are ridiculous. I know the odds are just great because I back tested it. I came up with numbers that you wouldn't believe, you know. And it was a smaller sample, it was just a month, but that's what got me into the silver bullet. I didn't lose a trade all month in the back testing. And that's what I showed you earlier. There was literally no losses. We'll take a quick look at this just to see. Sometimes it's good to see, like if one of them carries this point first. They're pretty much in sync right now. So there's no real benefit to, you know, They're moving just like you'd expect them to on a big trend. So we can look at, that would be a confirmation on the DR. So now this is another trade model, the DR IDR, which only starts after this DR range is broken, after this hour of trading. So this is the first hour of the session. Once the top or bottom is broke, it gives you that little arrow. That's considered the confirmation. And then you start looking for retracements back into the range before continuation. It was false Friday though, and I called it false in the Discord. See, it went confirmed long here, but then it broke the other side, and the probabilities are very, very high that it doesn't break the other side, like 75 to 85%. Depends on what you're trading and what day it is and what time the confirmation is, and it's all in a database. But I've gotten to where I use ICT with this, and I don't need a database, which got me out of having to pay $140 a month. But I had identified these levels of liquidity, and here very early on I said, well, I don't think DR, I think DR is going to fail today, and it did come down here and take this liquidity. So if you traded DR on that day, you probably took an L, maybe two, but it doesn't happen, you know, and usually your losses are small compared to your wins, so it sort of balances out. And we've got all of the free stuff of that is in the resources as well, all the videos, all of the detailed models, setups, a lot of stuff from when I was trading that. So people that are interested in that, I mean, it's out there if you want to check it out. We got a lot of people in here trading it, and we got a chat room dedicated to it. So it's just another tool, you know, and it gives me a bias. It gives me another way to frame the market right now, because I know when this happens, the retracement is usually, when it's this strong, a lot of times it doesn't even come back to the top of the DR. A lot of times it will bounce off this fair value gap and then keep going. But if it does come down into the range, then I would use this fair value gap and target to bounce back out. But I don't know that I want to do that because I'm bearish still on the higher time frames. So if this was happening in the opposite direction, I'd be all over the, you know, this move. That I would take that in a heartbeat. I'd be setting up for that right now. But I don't think I'm going to take a long. Not yet. I'm going to try to stay high probability now. I'm going to protect my gains, my capital. It's only A++ right now. No reason to give anything back. And if I don't see anything, I just don't take anything. So we are right at, this is a great short, man. God. OTE, fair value gap, bottom of the London, DR, rejection, huge push. Okay, so we were looking for a 30-second fair value gap. Would have been right there. But was there a push first through the consolidation? See, that's what I don't know. I mean, there's too much in here. Actually, that would have been it right there. No, that's on the, there it was right there. So on the 5 minute, there's the retake of liquidity, and that's at 11:24. So any fair value gap short from here would be the 30-second model. And I'll take it. I'll take it and just see. If I get a fair value gap short on the 30-second, I'm going to go short. Tight stop. Well, not real tight. It's supposed to be. I'm not going to give it 12 points like I did last time. I know that. But I don't like, well, when I start talking about what I like and what I don't like, then I'm getting away from the mechanical approach. I don't like these tops. I feel like there's liquidity there. But again, what I feel and what I see, two different things. I need to trade what I see. The criteria have been met right there with that push up on the 1 minute. It'd be stronger on the 5 minute. Not a lot there. it looked a lot cleaner on the examples I saw where there were multiple candles and there was some relative equal highs and then a push that looked like it was really taking liquidity. But I mean, that candle went to there, traded down, opened down there, took liquidity. So technically, we're in the trade. I'll leave it on the one. The one definitely looks clean. There is a little fair value gap there, but it just got closed, so no entry yet. Volume imbalance is good. Gap imbalance. So we'll see. This might be a neat way to take a precision entry on a big OTE retracement and having something to actually enter on rather than just the fib. Yeah, right, Mason. I guess I'm still experimenting with the 30-second. If I take a loss on the 30-second, I mean, I'd be 4 for 5. So I'd be okay with that just to test this out. And I really think that I want to start focusing on this and doing some videos and some back testing because it's so new. I got a lot of interest on the channel for just being able to post a live trade. You know, nobody's out there trading the 30-second, you know, in Discord. If they are, I haven't seen it. I'd love to be first at something besides blowing 20 accounts. I'm sure that's happened before. So technically, there's my entry.
Order filled.
Fair value gap. I'm going to give it... I'm supposed to give it the whole thing, man. I don't want to do that. Oh, I'm still half size, though, too. Well, that's fine. Yeah. Then I'll do that. 67... I could give it a good chunk up here. 67.75, 74.75. That was a sell. I need to buy right there.
Order working.
I need to buy down here.
Order working.
And we'll target just this level. A few ticks up and see what we get. Why is it not showing up on? Oh, I lost my sync. There we go. Well, I've got orders in and they're not showing up. Oh, no wonder. Duh. There we go. All right, so 68, 68, that would be 4-ish. That's 625 at half. So 650 at half is 3.5. It's like a $70 loss. If I took it, I'd be okay with that. It gives me 2 fair value gaps. Okay, JP, have a good one. I don't know, Todd. He had 12 points and 10 points, but honestly, I'm going to use my normal ideas for stop loss and targeting and things like that. I want to have a good shot to win, but again, I need to see what's way over here. There's really no reason for it to come back up here. There's no substantial liquidity, and this has been a monster, pullback. And I'm fighting the trend, the current trend, but I've got the long-term trend in my favor, I think. Unless you go out far enough, I mean, you can make the trends just about say whatever you really want to. If you go look at weekly, monthly, well, it's pretty bearish. I mean, you're not going to get tricked there, but that's definitely bullish there. But I love that big push up and then the pullback, in this area. We just have to see. And that's probably another one I don't know. I wouldn't have taken that if I wasn't live and I wasn't recording. So sometimes that does affect my trading, but Yeah, his son is on NQ, Cameron. If we can get a close right here, that'd be lovely. 11 seconds. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I mean, we got some good displacement. Is that still on a 30 second? No, now we're on the 1 minute. But we're in this huge 5 minute fair value gap, and that's kind of scary. But again, you know, if it's going to turn around, it has to go through this. This is just, there's no use trying to guess and wonder, you know, if it's coming down here, this has to fail, and it will fail eventually. It could just easily fail now, since we've got kind of what we want. This retracement here off of the DR confirmation could take me well into my 5 points. You know, if it even comes back just into the range, I'll get my 5 points. At 67, I would want 62.75. So when it starts doing this, you know, the box is in play. And this is good to do while you're in a trade as well, because we have the same expectations. I expect it to break this before it comes down. So if it starts going up, I'm not worried about it. I mean, that's what it needs to do. It has to come up here. And that helps my frame of mind, helps my mentality. I used to be very anxious. Oh no, it's going against me. I didn't know how far it was supposed to go. I had no idea, you know, that's okay. You know, that's fine. This doesn't affect the trade at all. You know, the longer it plays around, I wish it would just go up there and tap out so it can come down. But if it comes down here, then I expect it to go back up. You know, Neil, that's one of the things. That's why I put the C trade, take trade. I used to play with, oh, I got the DR bias against me. Oh, I got the fair value gaps against me. I win a lot of trades just taking the trade, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what's there. I back tested against all that stuff. The criteria are more important than everything else. Now, I don't know about this. I took this 30-second trade again just on a whim. I'm really just trying to test the heck out of this, and I just happen to be live when it shows up. So I always place an alert where the trade will fail. This way I can look away and free my mental capital. Yeah, right, Jack. I used to walk away. I mean, I would set it, I'd go out on my porch, and I would wait 10 minutes, and then I'd come back in and look at it. But I started feeling like I was, I don't know, I felt weak doing it that extreme, you know. I couldn't stand there and take it, so I stopped doing that, and now I just sit here, and I still do candle-by-candle analysis, even while I might be going against me or whatever. I'm going to be able to review the trade in my mind and know why it failed. I'll have the pattern here. The more time I spend in front of the charts, the better. So if that means, you know, feeling that little bit of that suckiness, then that's just, you know, it is what it is. Okay, Todd. And I'm also trying to build a thick skin also. I mean, this is going to be pressure. Once I get funded again, I'm going to go back through that pressure again. I like the challenge of trading live. It's kind of like walking on a tightrope. So that adds, you know, I'm building my thick skin. And hopefully that, you know, will carry me through some of those emotional challenges and psychological challenges. This isn't easy, having a room full of strangers who, a lot of you may be better traders than I am, scrutinizing my every move. And knowing that if I lose 2 in a row, it's just going to be, oh man, he's no good, he lost, you know, blah, 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 blah. But I hope what the other half of you would see is that, yeah, he lost, but he lost according to his plan, and, you know, everything he did was exactly what he said he was going to do. There's no, if you can do that, trade like you say you're going to trade, and just do that. How many times have you gotten trades and you did stuff you said you would not do, you know? For me, I'm developing a level of control and discipline by being able to just trade what I say I'm going to trade, and you guys are helping me do that. Because sometimes when I get alone, I get buck wild out there with some of the stuff, especially if I'm up. But then I know it's gambling, and I'm not perfect with this. This type of trade you're taking, did you write these rules down? Yes, I posted on my Twitter. I've showed the exact steps to be watching for the hourly, the 1 minute, 5 minute, and then the 30-second. And this is just another way to take the OTE trade, but it gives you more confidence because you know it also has that 30-second characteristic. And I guess stronger confluence. So if I get the OTE and I get the 30-second entry, eventually that's going to mean bigger position. I'll go in heavier because I have the added confluence, and I'm in a level like this. And this could have been a monster. I mean, when you get these kind of, it's like the stars lining up sometimes. If it does what it's supposed to, I can't guarantee that it will, but this is the kind of trade that I would be adding on, and as soon as it takes a good dump, add on the retrace again, and by the time it's down here, you're 4 or 5 contracts in, maybe with a partial, but, and I don't know if that's good for risk management or not. If it turned against me, I'd be screwed, but I've had a lot of luck with that. So we just kind of tick through. All I need is a tick through the box, and as far as I'm concerned now, it can come down. I'd like to see it close below. And then we got to battle through this, depending on how much it plays around here, I would probably already be at break even when it gets close here. Like I said, I'm not giving much back. I'm still giving it my full space until I get to, a few points beyond. We can still expect a failed swing to come up here and turn around. Just like it did here. I mean, it's fairly predictable sometimes. It wasn't on the 5 minute though. Like right here. I always want to give it this opportunity. It's going to try to shake as many people out as it can. And I want to be that last guy that's sitting here, waiting on it. $79 and find support, I'll enter. Yeah, 79 is, if you get 79, you gave it all the room, you gave it the best possible chance. This is neat because you can get the 79 with a model, that's telling you to go short. That's what I'm saying. If this works, you're going to see this a lot in these areas of consolidation at the tops, because usually it's an hour punch. Usually you get consolidation, which will show you the 5 minute or the 1 minute purge. And then all you got to do is look for the 30-second fair value gap to the other side. You take the first one. I mean, this is easy. This is going to be, if it works out, this will be like game changing. So we're in a 5 minute fair value gap. I wish it would have, dumped. I don't like it hanging around above the consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. I probably won't let this go all the way up here. If it's going to take this and this, it would probably take that. But it's just it stair steps its way up, which is usually how it looks when it's going after liquidity. It builds these little points that it can come back up and take. So I'm just trying to figure out if I want to take max loss on this or not. Well, it wouldn't be even max loss because I'm half position. So we'll just let it run. We'll just let it run, whatever. 68.25. I'll give it the swing. That's what I'll give it. I'll give it my 2 points above the swing, which would be where I would normally be at. And that's 225, 525 at half position, so 260, $50. That's good. Come up here and take these and then drop a wick. Perfect. But I'm not feeling great about it. Not feeling great. Now it can drop. Now it can drop. Drop. Don't do it.
Stop
Bam.
filled.
There you go. In this instance, it broke this side first. Okay, broke the box and then took out all the upper liquidity. So back to the 30-second. Back to yes. Because that is we're in a new hour, still in this hour purge. So we can still look for the same setup. And I'm still in the market. God bless, man. How? How? What is going on? I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. How am I still in the market? I mean, y'all saw my stop get hit, and it's still, P&L's still going, still shows I have working orders. This is bullshit.
Order filled.
I'm just going to get out. I'll get mad if it... Well, that's what I get for getting out, right? Yeah, I mean, that was a great play. I don't feel right with the thing not working. Yeah, I can flatten everything, but I shouldn't have to. I had I bought two, and I set my target and stop based on, two contracts, and it's not giving it to me. Yeah, there's a exit market and cancel. Exit at market and cancel. And that's what I just did. I mean, man. Am I still on voice? Yeah. Everybody's so quiet now. I'm not sure it's... If you took it off early and then it hit target, you will be more upset than taking a loss, I think. Yeah. Right? Crickets? It is what it is. I mean, this was this was a pretty... You got the... You always got to take this into consideration. I mean, that's just what the market does. The best way to screw everybody is to really get them thinking short and then just rip against them, But we haven't broken structure on higher time frames yet. Well, let's double check. Yeah, we have on the 15. When it looks like this, it's kind of hard for me to do the mental low, high, lower, low, breaks this high. So, well, no, because it didn't. I don't think we are yet, not on the hour. And definitely not on the 4 hour, so. And it's nothing on the daily. I mean, all this is a little pushback out of a fair value gap on the daily. We got 13 minutes, and then we're noon, New York, and I'm not going to trade through lunch, so I miss some beautiful news when I do, but I won't be as on point for the afternoon session if I sit here through a consolidating hour and a half of lunch, and I really want to be sharp for the afternoon because that's usually my better time. And if you're here for the last 15 minutes, sometimes you'll see something really cool. I tease it a lot, and it happens, enough. It hasn't happened a couple times, so we're due. But my biggest trades have come in the last 15 minutes of the session, and especially in the last 5. and there's a little thing that the market does, that ES does, that I've come to recognize and look for, and when I see it, I get in and I get a nice trade. It happens really fast. It's not like anything, you know. Well, it's kind of, it would have that characteristic that we just saw on that push, but it's in the last, you know, few minutes. And on Friday, it's really nice. For some reason, on Fridays, closing out books or something, but it likes to clear a lot of ground in that last few minutes. So we got about 10 minutes. Anybody got any questions on anything? Anything I've done or said or feedback? A lot of you, this is your first time in here, so hopefully it was found value in it. I'm going to do this all week. I'm off, so normally I work really crazy hours. I only get maybe a day during the week to trade New York. Sometimes 2, but it would be coming off of working all night like I did today. I haven't slept in 30 hours because I got up early yesterday morning, stayed up and went to work last night, and then here I am. So this is me at not my best. Let's put it like that. I haven't even had any coffee yet. My God. But I gotta say, adrenaline does a lot of good too. And I do get pumped for this. When I'm doing it myself, I'm listening to Metallica. I know some people aren't going to believe me, so I'm going to see if I can find it. There's no way you trade and listen to Metallica. Guns N' Roses. All right, Neil, take care. I used to do the hell out of me before. I've got 140 watts. Oh, that victory of fear, fighting the fear of fear, growing conspiracy, everyone's after me. Really? If they come back here to Omaha, I'll go. I went to Mountain View back. 12-year-old. Love this. It's great. He's up there screaming, I love you, Molly Crew! He watched the movie on Netflix, right? The Dirt. He watched The Dirt. And then when he went to the concert, and a little while later, he's like, I didn't really think those girls would take their shirts up like that. Because Vince Neil was out there, let me see them titties. And so yeah, it was like, his mother wasn't thrilled, and oh yeah, he had a blast.